Good morning. This is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated Journato morning headlines on March 11, 2022. TikTok users in Russia can see only old Russian-made content. The Guardian, analysis, TikTok is just the platform Russian dissidents need. The Washington Post, TikTok is just the platform Russian dissidents need. Woman who survived siege of Leningrad is a girl now trapped in Kharkiv. Ukrainian man learned wife and 2 children were killed by mortar fire after seeing image of their strewn bags. The Independent, the world should know what's happening, husband's plea after family slaughtered on Ukraine bridge. The Telegraph, family killed by Russian forces as they fled a pin along evacuation corridor. ITV News, mother shown dead on the street alongside her children in horror. Ukraine photo was a Silicon Valley worker. The Independent, Ukrainian man learns of family's death after recognizing bodies on Twitter. Putin says Russia will emerge stronger, sanctions will rebound on West. Reuters.com, Ukraine war, Putin insists Russia will overcome problems and difficulties caused by sanctions. Sky News, Putin warns that Russia will emerge stronger. Reuters, Putin warns of higher global food prices if export restrictions applied. Reuters.com, Putin warns the West, Russia will emerge stronger. Remember Trump Force One, ex-president asked supporters to fund new private jet after emergency landing. The Independent, Donald Trump asked supporters to fund new Trump Force One. The Times, plane carrying Trump reportedly made emergency landing after engine failure. The Guardian, Trump asking supporters to fund new private jet after emergency landing. The Independent, Trump plane makes emergency landing after engine failure. On the front line, if Kharkiv falls, all of Ukraine falls. Global COVID-19 death toll may be 3 times higher than official figures. The Guardian, Britain's COVID death rate compared with rest of world is not as bad as feared. The Telegraph, COVID-19, global coronavirus deaths may be 3 times higher than what official figures suggest, study claims. Sky News, COVID deaths 3 times higher than official data, study suggests. Financial Times, pandemic death toll 3 times higher than official figures suggest. Russia-Ukraine war latest news, we are dealing with a terrorist state, says Zelenskyy, Biden plans fresh Russian trade crackdown, live. The Guardian, Russia to lose most favored nation status over Ukraine, sources. Reuters.com, latest Russia-Ukraine war news, live updates. The Washington Post, U.S. Congress passes bill for $13.6 billion in emergency aid to Ukraine as it happened. The Guardian, what happened on day 13 of Russia's invasion of Ukraine? Emotions high as EU leaders face up to Putin's war. BBC, Western Europe leaders rebuff Ukraine fast-track EU membership appeal. The Guardian, Brussels playbook, Versailles summit, Russian influence in Brussels, chemical alarm. Politico Europe, EU army plans to get boost at Versailles crisis summit. The Telegraph, will the EU start to take Ukraine's membership seriously? Harry and Meghan add voices to fierce critique of West's COVID vaccine policies. Ukraine war, Boris Johnson tells Sky News he fears Vladimir Putin may use chemical weapons as it is straight out of Russia's playbook. Sky News, UK politics, Boris Johnson says he fears Putin may use chemical weapons in Ukraine, as it happened. The Guardian, chemical weapons attack by Russia in Ukraine could force NATO to act, warns minister. The Telegraph, Boris Johnson fears barbaric Kremlin regime could unleash banned chemical weapons on Ukraine. Manchester Evening News, barbaric Kremlin may be preparing chemical attack, warns Boris Johnson. Ukrainian ambush destroys Russian tanks and kills top commander Colonel Andrei Zakharov. The Independent, structured ambush, video appears to show strike on Russian tanks. CNN, drone footage shows Ukrainian ambush on Russian tanks. The Guardian, Russian commander killed as military vehicles destroyed near Kyiv's outskirts. ITV News, Ukraine destroy Russian tank column in Brovary near Kyiv, Russia-Ukraine war. Ukraine war, Boris Johnson tells Sky News it is deeply upsetting to refuse Volodymyr Zelenskyy a no-fly zone. Squat lobster photobombs Shackleton's endurance ship. BBC, underwater robots find Shackleton's endurance shipwreck in Antarctic, BBC News. BBC News, Endurance, remarkably, low sea ice levels helped historic mission to find Shackleton's lost ship. The Independent, the story of Endurance has a plot more gripping than any Hollywood blockbuster. The Independent, how Ernest Shackleton's whiskey was rediscovered nearly 100 years on under his Antarctic base camp. Ukraine war, all contact with Chernobyl power plant has been lost, officials tell UN's nuclear watchdog. Sky News, nuclear watchdog loses contact with second Ukraine plant as Zaporizhzhia goes offline. The Independent, Ukraine raises alarm over nuclear safety after fighting near Chernobyl. Financial Times, Lukashenko orders Belarusian specialists to ensure power supply to Chernobyl plant, Belter. Reuters.com, explainer, what's behind latest scare at Chernobyl plant. Senior teachers will endure long pay freeze under DFE plans, study finds. War in Ukraine, is the party over for Chelsea? Sky News, Roman Abramovich, Chelsea sale halted by UK government sanctioning club owner. BBC, Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich sanctioned by UK government. Channel 4 News, Chelsea and Abramovich in limbo, what do the UK government? The hard tackle, West Ham 1-4 Chelsea, WSL champions move 5 points off leaders Arsenal amid Roman Abramovich sanctions. Russian embassy claims injured pregnant woman pictured after hospital bombing was wearing realistic makeup. The Independent, Twitter removes Russian embassy tweet on Mariupol bombing. The Guardian, Ukraine war, child among the dead in Russian airstrike on hospital, say officials, as Moscow warns West against supplying weapons. Sky News, Russia bombed a maternity hospital, and the West let them do it. The Independent, no longer scared, just tired, Mariupol residents focus solely on survival. North Korea, United States believes intercontinental ballistic missiles launched by Pyongyang. Sky News, serious escalation, US believes North Korea testing intercontinental missile. The Guardian, Kim seeks to expand launchpad amid worry about ICBM firing. The Independent, US warns of serious escalation in North Korea's military capability after missile tests. Financial Times, US, says N Korea tested ICBM system as leader expands space effort. UK government to allow members of public to house Ukrainian refugees. The Guardian, Scott prepares to open home to Ukrainian refugees after grandmother fled Nazi Germany. Daily Record, is Priti Patel vicious or stupid? It's a fine line for Ukrainian refugees. The Guardian, roads on Pigeon News, finger-wagging from France and why Ukrainian refugees should stay as long as they wish. Shropshire Star, editorial, Britain's handling of the refugee crisis has been shameful. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.